so we're here doing our valve adjustment. My brother's here for another episode because it's kind of a two-person job. Is one person rotates the motor. So basically, I was watching the Moss Motors video and the rule of 9, learned about that. So right now we have, looks like cylinder number 5 is all the way down. So you count the next cylinder that would equal 9 would be 4. So we're going to do our adjustment. This should be a 15 thousandths. And it's definitely not. It is on there solid. So we're going to loosen it up and until it tighten it down until we get the 15 thousandths. And we'll continue to do this for all cylinders. All right. Aha! All right, so we're on cylinder number 4. Just broke it loose with our 1/2-inch socket. So we're going to take our feeler gauge, which is right here. Should be 15 thousandths. We're going to take our flathead and adjust until we can get this in there. Oh, okay. We want some. All right. You have that 1/2-inch wrench.
Right here.
Tighten her down.
No, it's not the 1/2-inch.
Hand tighten it first. Alright, and then we'll get the socket on there. No, okay, let's get the socket on there. Go ahead and socket it.
Where'd you put it? Oh, got it.
Good. Alright, so cylinder 4 is good. We're going to move on to the next one. So rotate it, or I'm going to rotate it. My brother's going to call out which cylinder is down, and we'll work from there. Alright, so number 2 is down.
So 7.
Yes. Which is the one we were having issues with.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to be able to adjust this enough. Doesn't look like it's going up or down at all. So we'll see what we can do with it. Here, grab the phone so we can show them what's going on.
I was afraid that the cams are messed up.
Yeah.
Because there's like.
So this is literally
in the lobe between the rod and the lobe.
It appears there might be an issue with the cam. This is literally as far down as I can make this thing, and it's not going to be enough. I mean, maybe it will actually. We might be all right. Hold on. Let's see.
I have a feeler gauge. We need to loosen it back up.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to loosen it. Where's the? That is way too far. The nut is now. All right. Yeah, hold on. All right. There's a little bit of resistance. Tighten it. Is it tightening at all?
Yeah, it's hand tight.
All right. Just use the socket. We're gonna watch it when we rotate it here. We don't want to bend the rod. I'm not trying to do that.
Oh crap!
See, now I've just pinched it in there. It's way too tight. Alright, so right now we're making a trip to Harbor Freight because the socket I got a 3/4 inch drive for the crank socket, and I don't know how you guys do it, but I cannot fit that in there without removing part of the steering linkage, so I don't feel like doing that, so I'm gonna go see if I can find a overly sized wrench. So see what we can get. So the trip to Harbor Freight's a success. Got myself an adjustable wrench, which should be able to rotate this. There's serious concern that I might have a worn out lobe on the camshaft. This rocker arm right here is just too much. I don't know if it's rising and falling at all. I'll have to have my brother watch it, and we'll just have to see. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust the rest as we go, and we'll just keep an eye on that one. Since we showed you guys how the first few are done, we're just going to do this next few and fast forward. Enjoy. Guys, so we adjusted all the valves. Number 7 still got some play. Wiggle it, Connor. I'll show you. And the push rod comes disconnected. I can move it around in there. So I'm wondering that even though it doesn't seem like it's bent, even my neighbor didn't really think it was bent. I wonder if it's actually bent. The lobe did compress, but there's so much play. I mean, I have the...
Yeah, I think it might be bent.
I have the adjuster all the way down.
Watch this.
Well, it's fine. No. Just spin it. Keep spinning it. You'd see it like spinning unevenly. I mean, it might be. I don't know. But so I'm gonna have to get a manual to figure out how to pull the rods. I'm hoping it's pretty straightforward, but you know, it's a learning experience, so we'll see. So that'll be my next purchase, is a Haynes manual. So
might as well buy a push rod.
Be the next big project. All right, guys. So we got our new bushings. We're gonna go ahead and put them on, and then got our new washers and spacers. So we'll go ahead and put our valve cover back on. I got some work to do with the actual valves themselves, but I want to protect them. I'm going to be out of town here for about 2 weeks. I want to make sure that this engine does not get any undue dirt or corrosion or anything in there. So put the bushing back on. Got it on. Let's just start tightening. Alright. So that's partially on there. Of course, I'm having trouble getting it in. Alright, there we go. Stop that.
Stop it?
And then we'll, yeah. Alright guys, so today we did our valve rod adjustment. Had a couple issues come up. Went ahead and swapped, so we did everything we could. Valve 7's potentially bent. So I might be pulling the valve rod assembly and pulling the rod in the future, but since I'm about to go out of town, that's gonna have to wait till the end of the month when I come back. Also got some new fuel line for filter, because the guy at Advanced Auto, I'm sorry, I don't want to say Advanced Auto because they're the ones who got it right. AutoZone decided to give me windshield wiper hose, and shame on me for not checking until I got home. So no big deal. This tube is literally the same as the other tube that I was using for the emission sensing, our emission system, so I could have just cut that and used that, honestly. So I'm going to pull this windshield wiper hose and put this one on, cut it to length, or you can just leave it the way it is, either way. And then I'm going to put a better clamp on there, so make sure I don't have any leaking. But that's pretty much it. Appreciate you guys watching. The next video will probably be a few days from now. I'm not gonna be in the area for a while, but you know, stay tuned, and hopefully we can get this thing cranking over once we change that push rod. That seems to be the big hang up now. I have everything else I think we need. We gotta figure. I might be able to sloppy mechanic a choke linkage just to have something to move the choke. I'm not 100% on how that works, so we'll mess with that when the time comes. But yep, appreciate everyone watching, and hit like and subscribe. Hey everybody, this is my brother and his 2007 Mustang GT. We'll be going up to the American Muscle Car Show, as I told you guys about, with my father, who also has a 07 GT, but my dad's is a California Special. Yeah, Connor, go ahead and tell everybody about it.
Well, good evening, everyone. Like you said, this is a 2007 Ford Mustang GT. I've only done a few upgrades to it. It's your typical 4.6 3-valve stock, putting out 300 horsepower. Like I said, I've done a few upgrades. I put in the cold air intake, and it's also tuned by Bama. And on the tail end, I put on some pipes exhaust. Need to adjust the starboard side, just because it's hanging down a little bit low. But on the other end, this is not the stock paint. Kind of a class issue with this style Mustang, the S197, is that the paint
Peels.
yeah, it tends to peel, it bubbles up, and starts to look like garbage. So in order to mitigate that issue, I just got it done while I was on deployment. My dad had the Mustang, and he took it to a local body shop and got the whole thing repainted. The stripes were actually, when I bought it, were actually decals, so these are legitimate painted on stripes. It's a real nice paint job. Guys did a wonderful job. Shout out to USA Auto Body over there on Loop Road in Clayton, North Carolina.
Do you have any plans for modifying in the future? Headers, maybe?
I think eventually I want to get some long tube headers, put those on there. Maybe an off-road X-pipe. We'll see. And possibly upgrade the cams from the stock ones that I have in here.
Yeah, I recommend Ford Racing. Give you a really hot rod low pedal. Want to do a cold start?